Hey guys, what's going on? This is Adam Carswell. Welcome to Dream Chasers. This show is taking a bit of a shift in direction. And I'm sure if you haven't noticed or as time goes on, you'll start to see that. Got to give credit to the big dog, a guy named Alex Hormozy. If you don't know who Alex Hormozy is, just Google him, Alex Hormozi. He recently put out a podcast which basically talked about, I've been doing this for 5 years, and it wasn't until year 5 of podcasting that this thing started hitting hard, delivering, value that people rave about. And so, and he goes into details as to why, but basically my biggest takeaway from that piece, he's just like, look, if you're a podcaster, you really is the framework. It's a 2-step framework. Do cool things and talk about them. Excuse me. And I think as podcasters, we get under this impression that we have to have guests on our show all the time. And I do think guests are important, but I'm also starting to think, do I really want like a whole bunch of guests on my show now? I don't think I do. I think I'd prefer for it to be mostly me, just to be honest. And then the occasional guest, don't get me wrong, I definitely want to still keep bringing people on Dream Chasers, but it's the Adam Carswell show. It really is. So here we go. Do cool things and talk about them. And we're going to start today off. Well, with that, make sure you go check out that interview I just referred to. We're recording this, September 2022. So if you go over to Mosey's podcast, Alex Hormozy, I'd say August or September is when he put out the one that I'm referring to. Something about took me 5 years of podcasting. So was recently at my alma mater, Westminster College. Shout out to the Titans. I had a really good career there as an athlete on the track and field, on the basketball court. It was a good time. And I am now in the Hall of Fame there. Got to give a pretty cool Hall of Fame speech. I will plug myself on this one. If you go to YouTube and you type in Adam Carswell Hall of Fame speech, you can probably find it. It's on my dad filmed it and posted it on his YouTube, which is pretty cool, which also shout out to my dad. Also he's in the Hall of Fame of his alma mater as well, John Carroll. So that was it, man. It was really cool just to go back to a place that at that time I poured my heart and soul into that university, whether it was in athletics or academically or just around campus. I'd say for the most part, anyone who knows me from college, aside from my freshman year, which by the way, I finished my freshman year with a 2.0 GPA. Things were not looking good. And, I'd say thanks to good parents and a shift in mindset, I can really give credit to my whole life changing between my freshman and sophomore year of college. Like that's when the good grades started coming, whatever, which I'm also someone who I really don't subscribe to the whole concept of good grades. I know it says something about a person, but I do think the educational system is messed up a little bit, actually a lot of it. And I'll talk about that now. So shout out to Westminster. I do love my Titans. Love my experience there. I love giving to the basketball and the track and field programs in particular. And I want to cultivate more of an entrepreneurial mindset at Westminster and really just in general. I was listening to a podcast recently where, and you can fact check this or whatever, but around the turn of coming into the 1800s, 5% of the US population was employed by someone, meaning it was a 95% entrepreneurial ecosystem. Like, wow. And yeah, whatever, if you want to go down the whole what about slaves or whatever, you can go that direction if you want to. I'm just trying to help you realize, if you don't know, now you know. America was 95% entrepreneurs about 200 years ago. Where did we go wrong? Right? I think it's basically around the world, and especially in North America, just because this is the culture I've been raised in. It's you grow up, you go to school, you get good grades, you get a good job, and once you get a good job, you get promoted. Once you get promoted, you make more money. And what happens through the whole thing, as you make more money, you get taxed more, you get taxed more, you get taxed more. And then all of a sudden you got a little bit of money at the end of your career. You can go sit on a beach for 10 years, hopefully don't run out of money, and then you die. Anyone out there want to do that? I don't think so. Well, if you don't want your life to look like that, then I suggest you take a little bit more of a hard look at becoming an entrepreneur or pursuing something that's entrepreneurial, in particular, leveraging your voice, leveraging your mind, leveraging your connections to get you to where you want to go faster. Because if you're going to put your whole dependence of life on some A's on a piece of paper, you ain't going anywhere fast. I can tell you that. It's not to come too hard. I mean, I feel like if anyone at Westminster, if you know me, then this will resonate with you. And by no means am I saying like don't go to school or anything like that. But if you're going to college, like flip the entrepreneur switch on sooner rather than later. Because if you wait till, I know so many people that waited till later, and now they're like, well, I'm trapped, golden handcuffs, or trying to scramble and create some financial freedom for them and their family before they hit 50 or 60 or whatever. It's not fun. So you got to start early. And I let that message be known, let's say not as deliberately as I am right now, but I was like, hey, if we got entrepreneurs at the school, we need to cultivate this energy now. Like this needs to be an entrepreneurial hub, Westminster College. And I'm your guy if you want to talk. So if you are a Titan and you're listening to this, or if you just resonate with what I'm saying, go ahead and reach out. If you know me, if you know me, you know how to reach out, and leave it at that. You know how to get in touch with me. We need to help more people, and especially Westminster Titans. I'm sympathetic to you because I've literally walked in your shoes, eating at the tub, walking through McKelvey, Thompson Clark, on the field, whatever you name it. I'm here to serve you. So there we go. That was like a variation of my Hall of Fame speech. I did not talk that much about entrepreneurship during the speech, but there you go. I want to take this moment to pause and say I'm grateful for the birth of my son, which by the time this interview or this episode goes out, Micah is his name. Micah, you might be born already. I am recording it before your birth, but you might already be born. So welcome to the world, and talk about, leveraging your mind, leveraging your voice, your communications, connections. My son, you are going to take this thing to the next level, and it's going to be awesome. So that's good. I did some yoga this morning, some hot yoga over here at Hot Shop in Victoria Park, Calgary, Alberta. And man, I love it. 3 days a week, if you can do hot yoga, absolute game changer, multiple reasons. One, being a former athlete, I feel like when I am consistent with it, which I'll be honest, the last couple of weeks, I have not been doing it. I try to do at least 3 days a week. Haven't been doing it the last couple of weeks. Got back in there today, and there's just something about the hotness and the yoga-ness of it all. And you get a little bit of like clarity of mind too, because it's like a meditative experience. But my body feels like it's 18 again when I'm consistent with it. And I'm not, I feel like I remember when I was 18, I would still get sore and stuff too. It's not like being younger is just like it was pain-free days, right? But as far as flexibility, pliability, and just feeling young, I highly endorse yoga. If you're not doing it, I definitely wake up with way less aches, pains. I can get up, jump around. I could, should I just do it now just to show you guys? Well, I guess if you're listening, you don't know. I'm going to jump up. I'm just going to jump up. So I don't know. At no point when I did that do I feel like, oh, I might pull something right now, right? But if I wasn't doing yoga, I might feel like that. So look into yoga, hot yoga in particular. That's the best. Working on a book right now. Been working on this thing for a while. February 2021 is when I first got the idea, and we are finally getting near the end of the tunnel, folks. Been putting a lot of time, a lot of energy into this. Some teasers on the book. I'd say this is gonna sound funny. think about multiplication. There's a multiplication theme to my book. Stay tuned. And some other cool things I've been working on. General Moses as a DJ, music production. I've talked about this briefly in some previous episodes. If you go back to the one with Danny Weeks, I actually talk about it a lot in that one. But my music production skills are increasingly getting better. My DJ skills are getting better, and it's just a skill that I always want to have. Shout out to my cousin, my distant cousin, Shaquille O'Neal. Talk about a businessman that happens to DJ. That's me. Apple don't fall far from the tree, right? So shout out to, you can go to toolroomacademy.com, toolroomacademy.com to look into what I've been getting into. Recent graduate of that course, and they really helped me fast track my way to professional music production in the tech house, aka electronic realm. So I should be releasing a track soon. I might actually have a track out also by the time this interview goes live. But I guess if you want to hear the song, just reach out to me, because I don't know where it will be at. I also am submitting it to the record label. So there's a chance it gets signed. There's also a very strong chance that it does not get signed. And it is my first song, so got to be humble. If it gets signed, you'll definitely be hearing it. If it doesn't get signed, I have some creative ways of distribution that we're looking at. So let me know if you're interested in that. And that's it, folks. Thank you for tuning in to this, I was going to say special edition, but this new version of Dream Chasers, Interviews with the Future. Yeah, I don't know. I did this one sitting in the office. I was thinking I might do some more in a walk and talk format or whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it unfolds, but do cool things and talk about it, my friends. That's how you stand out. And, just scrolling through Instagram the other day, so many talking heads out there. How do you differentiate yourself? I think this is one way to do it. Instead of getting out there talking about the, what's an example? I don't want to, I don't want to come down too hard on anyone, so I'm not going to say that, but just be yourself. Tell your story. The story is what sells. One thing that I did get from my cousin, Shaquille O'Neal, he breaks his content down this way. 60%, how was it? I think it's 70% to make you, no, he said, I'm going to get mixed up. He said 60% to make you laugh, 30% to inspire you, and 10% what he's selling. So I'm just going to kind of rinse and repeat that. Hopefully 60% of what I said made you laugh. Hopefully 30% of it inspired you or something like that. And hopefully 10% of it makes you want to do business with me or something along those lines. Sound good? All right, cool. Thank you guys for tuning in to Dream Chasers, Interviews with the Future. Maybe just interviews with Adam now. We'll see. Remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level. And yes, I have a little money button here, thanks to my beautiful wife. All right, guys. Peace.